Hello everyone, this is Ramana. You're watching me on techmyhire YouTube channel. In this video, Maithili is here. We are going to discuss about the general hiring process of a software company and what about the interview rounds and about resume making. So we are going to give some suggestions about these rounds. And before diving into this video, those who are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel now, and you will get a lot of videos regarding placement preparation. Yeah, Maithili, can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, as Ramana said, this is Maithili and I'm currently working for HCL Technologies. Thanks for having me in this video and thanks for giving me an opportunity to share my views about the hiring process. And I'm going to suggest you some things out of my knowledge in the hiring process of the interviews.
Yeah, I hope this video will be very helpful for the candidates. So
Yeah,
as per the discussion, so the general hiring process for any company will start with a written test process. Even if you
yes,
go for any software company, the first stage will be like written test. So for the basic salary around 3.6 or 5 for any software company for the freshers, they want to test the candidate on the aptitude, reasoning, verbal, and sometimes coding section. Okay,
yes,
so based on these sections, they will try to analyze the candidate's analytical skills and logical skills, and they will give an interview call for this after clearing the written test process. Yeah, Maitri, do you want to give some suggestions for the candidates? So what type of questions they may expect, and from where they can prepare themselves? Because this is the most common for any company, aptitude, reasoning, or
yes,
verbal,
yes,
and coding section. So do you want to suggest for
yes.
the candidates about this one?
Like suggestions of written test, the main thing is you need to practice more on the things like aptitude, reasoning, and verbal, as well as in the coding. As we have so many open resources now for all the things, we can go through that and we can get knowledge from the open resources. But rather than watching the videos and gaining the knowledge, if you have practice in your like hands-on doing it, you will get to remember it for a long laster. Like watching a video will not last for forever, right? If you practice it, then you will get to know how to solve the issues in a good way. Like you will get a picture like how to solve this when you see a question what you solved in a hands-on.
Yeah.
And if you want to suggest me like a websites or like the things open sources, W3 schools, and even you go for Geek for Geeks. And when you want it manually, I'll suggest Dr. R.S. Agarwal Aptitude and Quantitative book. Those will help you in clearing the written test. The practice is more important in written test clearing.
Exactly. Even
Yeah,
yeah, aptitude kind of questions they may not expect the same questions for every company, right? So
yes,
if they're good at the concepts in the aptitude or reasoning
yeah.
or verbal, so based on the concepts, they will questions maybe varies. And
Yeah, on this note, I wanted to mention one thing like when you are appearing for the written test, you should know the pattern of the company because when you are practicing the things, there are a lot more things to practice. But when you know what are the things you need to concentrate on, it will be easy for you to like concentrate on few things rather than whole huge subject. It is going to be easy for you to prepare the things, right? Yeah, even knowing about the pattern is also plays an important role in clearing the written test.
yeah, they must should have a better idea before going for
Yeah,
what are sections they may
yeah.
expect, so they can
If
have
they
an
don't
idea.
know the pattern, it takes so much of time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
prepare things. Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, so based on the company, based on the package and role they offer, the different taste may varies. So some companies
Yes.
they mainly concentrate on the coding itself, they will give some coding questions, and they will purely analyze the candidate based on the coding skills, not like aptitude or reasoning. So it depends, based on the package they offer, it will differ. So I can suggest for the coding kind of job roles, so they mainly better to use hacker rank, hacker at platforms, because you
Yes.
will get a lot of real world problem statements there, and you will give an it will give an experience that you are going to attend this type of TCS digital act within the coding questions. So these type of problem statements you may get in those platforms, because even these companies also use refer these platforms to conduct the test for the candidates. So this will be very
Yes.
useful to use under practice in these
Yeah.
platforms.
In recent times, hacker rank test is very popular test for
Yeah.
clearing the rounds. Yeah.
Even that is also using by a lot of companies for the third party
Yeah.
platform, because they don't have sometimes
Yes.
they don't have a original platforms by themselves to conduct some tests, so they will use these
Yes.
platforms also. So if
Yes.
candidates in before, if they practice on these platforms, they will get an idea, because sometimes the platform may vary. Suppose they don't know how to run the code. So in local they can run the code, but coming to this kind of platform, there will be some features. After compilation, after submit only, all test cases may be passed. So this kind of stuff they have to know in before going to appear for this type of coding assessments. So this type,
Yes,
this is the
exactly.
this is the basic general hiring process for written test for any software company. So after done this, so if you clear the written test, so the next thing is about the interview call. So after getting your interview call, you have to prepare the resume first. Okay, because the resume is the main thing that is a greeting card for you to the interview. So the interview, if you want to analyze you, so the resume is the main thing. So based on the resume, he will ask you questions, right? So yeah, Maithili, like how you suggest for the candidate about how you can prepare a resume and what the main things you need to be concentrated while making a resume.
Before diving into the resume preparation process, I wanted to mention one thing about the hacker rank test. Even after joining you in an MNC or any company, they are going to test your knowledge through the hacker rank test. So it is going to be helpful in all the possible ways. So you should have some practice on hacker rank platform. It's
Yeah.
going to be good for you also. So to improve your coding skills. Yeah, when coming to the TR process, the resume plays a vital role in the TR round. The whole TR round is depending upon your resume words, and the resume is going to be script to the interviewer. They are going to ask you questions based upon the things that you are mentioned in your resume. And you have to be very clear and very confident about the things that you mentioned in your resume. And don't be fake about the words or the things that you mention in your resume, because they are going to dig deeper into the words that you mentioned in the resume. Suppose if you mentioned a coding language, they wanted to ask you a question in that, and if you don't know the language, then the things are going to be in a right way, right? So
Yes.
you need to be very careful in that. And they also wanted to test your like mini project or main project details if you mention your resume, and they are also going to test your percentage scores. And it is a general process of testing your resume and asking your questions. And rather than this, there are some people who don't like see resume and ask your questions. Maybe they ask some other questions. It is a rare case, but most of the things they are going to cover in your resume thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while preparing resume, right, some of the candidates what they will do, right, they will refer
Yeah.
their friends resume, and they simply ask friends to share their resume, and they will edit its friend. I
Yes.
mean, these are our friends' resume, and they do some mistakes. Okay, if they
Yes.
are not more concentrated on that, they will forget to change some places like a father name or mother name, some words. If they forget to do that, if the interview person saw that, it will be a lot of negative impact on the candidate, even if he's good
Yes.
at technical round and everything he answered about the questions asked by interview person, but still at the end of the interview he will
They'll
perfectly
have
right
some
about that
regret
plan.
that why I mentioned this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the
That-
candidates may get like don't try to copy the friend's resume. You can get a lot of templates in Google. You get a free templates for resume making. You can download the template and you can work on it, because it doesn't take a lot of time to prepare
Yes, yes,
resume, because it is very important for your career, right? You have a lot
yes,
of time before interview process. Please consider at the time of resume. Yeah. So
yes,
after done with the resume making, so the most common rounds for any interview will be like TR, MR, and HR. So in TR, they will analyze the candidate based on the technical skills, and about you mentioned about what you mentioned the resume. Mostly they will ask them, and otherwise it's in rare condition, as you said, like they may ask out of resume also. And
yes,
coming to the MR, so in MR, like they will use some scenarios, like if you are in that scenario, how you will make a decision making. So how you were, they will analyze how you managing the things. So on this spot, how you making the decisions. That is the important thing regarding the MR round. So and coming to HR. So in HR, mostly you want to focus on the candidate, whether the candidate is willing to join their company or not, whether the candidate know about their company first or not, and about the role he was going to hire. So first of all, they will consider on these things, and so this will be most repeated questions in HR also. So I'm not sure for every company, not all three sections are mandatory. For some companies, so they will only concentrate on the TR round. They're done with the TR and they will give interview result. Otherwise, they will go for HR round. So based on the time availability and the process they had, they will change the pattern. So yeah,
yes,
Maithili, for the candidate who is going for TR, MR, and HR. So do you want to suggest them? Because these days most of the interviews are online also. Like, do you want to suggest about these online interviews and how to prepare for TR? What the measurements they have to take during this type of interview process?
Yeah, when it comes to online TR or HR process, any hiring process through the online, you have to make sure that the internet connection is very good and the lighting is proper, and you make sure that there is no any noises or disturbances around you, because the interviewer may be busy at some work and they are doing it for you. As they are spending some time on you need to be make sure that there is only disturbances, no disturbances around you, because when they get irritated and if they want to repeat the process, then the case is going to be in a negative way.
Yes.
So you need to make sure the things are going good, and then only you need to connect with them and you need to interact with them. And while interacting with the persons or interviewer, you have to be very communicate and you have to be very confident enough that the answer that you are giving is the thing what you know. Without knowing the things, don't give any answers randomly, or don't be any silly to the interviewers, because we don't know how they react. You need
Yeah.
to be very sensible at interview things, right? Because we don't know in what mood they are doing our interview, and we don't know what is the intentions of them. Like we can see so many rejection panels also while in the hiring process, so we don't know what is the panel regarding also. So we need to be very confident enough what we know,
Yeah.
and we need to communicate with in a good way to them, so that they will interact more with us. And confidence and communication skills plays a very vital role in interacting with them. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Maithili, like during interview tier round, right? Tier round is the main one. So if you clear tier round,
Yes.
further process will go on, right? So in tier
Yes.
round, mostly the interviewer will focus on what, like whether they mainly focus on projects or some programming language they mentioned, or some core subjects they have in the, because even CSC or maker civil candidates are going for interview process of software job, right? So how the interview
Yes.
process will vary based on the branch they study.
Yeah, of course. It depends upon the branch, and it also depends upon the interviewer mindset also. We cannot say he maybe he will ask you about the coding questions also, because when we are going for an IT interview, we must have mentioned some languages there, like coding languages, right? Even though you are from mechanical or any non CSE or IT branch, you are going to mention a language in your resume, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, you are going to get coding questions also. But when he wanted to question you in your core branch questions, he may ask you. It depends upon him. Totally depends upon his interest also. Because if he get the things right, if you don't have any coding skills that higher level, maybe he also asks you about the core questions also. He will consider like we cannot expect the things. Maybe he can consider the core things also,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we don't know, right, what project we are going to work on. So
Yeah.
they will consider the things, and they will segregate the things, and they will consider the persons.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
yeah, if the candidate is very good at is what he mentioned the resume, that's fine. He was good at core
Yes.
subjects, he was good at good programming language he mentioned, that's fine. He was going to answer any questions that is going to ask in the interview process. But some of the
Yes.
candidates, if they are not confident enough, so they don't have a proper knowledge on the core subjects or programming language, they can do one thing. Because even if the interviewer is who is coming to the interview, the candidate, if he's from separate background, so after
Yes.
joining the company, we will be moving to one specific
If he
technology.
know the things, yeah. If he know the things regarding to the branch of ESE or any other non IT branch, if you know the things, then he randomly questions you. There's no
Yes.
doubt at it, because when you confidently answer the coding questions, then there is no scope for him to answer like to question you on regarding the core subjects.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it also depends upon you. If you are ideal, or if you are in a confusion state while answering the coding questions, then you are going to be questioned in a very different way. We might not expect the way also.
Yeah. Suppose even if the
Yeah.
interviewer doesn't have a knowledge on the things you mentioned, suppose it doesn't
Yeah.
mandatory to have a all technical knowledge for interviewer, right? Even if you after becoming an HR or tier person in the specific company, you are going to work on specific technology, not all technology at that in the same time. So if you was
Yes.
working on the JS framework sometime and he forget about some Java hooks concept or some other technology you mentioned in your resume. Suppose you mentioned A and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, but he doesn't have a knowledge on it. At that time what he will do is like he want to test you, but he will refer some websites. So he will simply search for some top interview questions on
Yes.
A and ML, top interview questions on Python or Java. It will happen, it may happen. So that's why the candidates better to, before moving to the interview, if they refer this kind of top interview questions of specific technologies you mentioned in your resume, it will be very helpful. You may get questions from those websites also. So
Yes.
yeah, practice is the more important. So the candidates who will prepare themselves before the interview will be more confident. Okay, if you want to get a conference, you have to practice. If there is no practice, automatically you will not have a confidence during the interview process.
Yes. Only
So
if you have some knowledge about the things, then only you are going to be confident about the things,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Otherwise, you are not going to be confident enough to answer the questions what they are asking you.
yeah. Even
Yeah.
like if the candidate doesn't have a knowledge and technical stuff, if you want to fake, like if you want to show like confident in the interview process,
Yes.
he doesn't know anything. It
They
doesn't
are going
give
to
a,
caught
yes,
definitely
yes. It will
because
not
they
happen.
have so much experience of interviewing the persons. They
He
will
will know
get to
like
know
what
the
type of
things.
candidate is it, like
Yeah.
if faking or not,
Yes.
he has a knowledge or not. Otherwise, just he has some skills, communication skills he has, but no technical knowledge. He want to cover up something, he want to cook up something in the interview process. He will know because he have experience.
Yes.
He interviewed a lot of candidates before you. So, but
Yes.
much better should you have a technical knowledge and along with communication skills. Only communication skill you
Yes.
can't manage anything.
Then only we can just elaborate the things and we can explain them in a very good way, like in a very communicating way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have knowledge, we can't express the things in a right way so that we can convey the things very easily when we have some knowledge about the things what they are asking.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Maithili. So these are the most common sections we have explained you. The general sections coming from written test process, resume making, and interview process rounds. So we give some tips for online interviews also. So Maithili, do you want to extend anything?
No, apart from this, the appearance of you is also very important to the interview. Like they will observe every little bit, everything they will observe and they will consider into the things. They will score us, right. How you look also matters there. So you need to be very careful when you are in an interview room. You have to be very confident enough,
Hmm.
and you need to be careful about the behavior of yours also.
Okay.
So if you do any silly things also, it is not going to be it is going to be in a negative way. So make sure you are not doing any silly things there also.
Yeah, thanks, Maithili, for sharing a lot of tips for the candidates regarding interview process and resume making. And a lot of things you covered. So we have a lot of experience because you went through a lot of interviews before joining into the company. So I hope this thing will be helpful for the candidates, for the freshers, especially freshers who don't know about the placements and how about the placement system will go on. So I hope this will be useful for them. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me in this channel, and thanks for giving opportunity to share my views towards the topic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys for watching this video. Hope this video will be helpful for you. So if you like this video, you can share this video to the candidates whom you think it will be helpful for them because they want to enter into the placement season for the 2022 batch, especially I can say. So thank you guys for watching this video.